can I get your name?
Tom Good. Good for nothing. Time sure flies, I'll tell you. I would have been third generation, and my son would have been fourth generation. But he didn't want to be a rancher or farmer. He's an investment banker in San Francisco. I could hardly wait to get in a tractor. Like after school, I was in the tractor, and I love farming. Cattle. I was mostly into farming. Dad was the cattle guy. He was more like a brother than he was a dad. We farmed together. It was only 6 miles apart. Bought machinery together. And I sure missed him when he passed away. I should tell you what he said when I finished school. He said, "It's time to catch your own rabbits now." Yeah, I was 18 when I bought my first place, but he didn't put up money when I bought my first farm. He put up titles. Those titles were important to him. Land went up, and it was about 3 times as high as what I paid for it. So I went in that morning and I said to Dad, "We can get your titles back." He said, "What?" He had a cane. And when we got to the title office, he went right up those steps, and I was halfway up yet. Got in there, got his titles, headed to the TD bank, and he put them in the safety deposit box. And he looked at me and says, "I don't care what you do if you lose it now." Yeah, we had 4 years of drought. In the 80s, it was pretty tough. After that, we had pretty good crop. My grandpa there, they had 10 years with that. And they had that dirty 30s, they call it, and all that grew is thistles and weeds, and they were blown away in the wind. And he ended up losing it for taxes. Yeah, they had quite a rough time back then. A company out of France, they were called Credit Francais, had bought up this land just for taxes. And my dad rented it for 40-some years from this company, and I ended up buying it in 1990 back again. They came out with a law you had to be a Canadian citizen to own land. And that's why they put it up for sale. To buy the land back, felt great to get it back in the family again. It was just 3/4 there, and change is not a bad thing. We were 60 miles out of Assiniboine. My wife was driving every day. And every time she went by this place on the highway, she says, "I sure like that place." And we ended up with it, and we've been here 21 years. First place was 28 years. Raised our kids there, I guess. Well, calving time was my favorite time of year. The new babies bouncing around and the cows bouncing around. Like, I rented my land out for 4 years. And I cut down on my cattle for 4 years. The last load out was hard to take. I still miss calving time. I sold my cows in February, and I usually calved in March. And I caught myself a couple times hopping out of bed to go check the cows. Half asleep, and you go, "What the hell am I doing? I sold my cows." And I sold, 28. I kept 320 acres of the 3,000 anyway. And that's the home quarter and this quarter, and it's all by the highway. I've never lived in a city in my life. My wife wanted to move to Medicine Hat because that's where our daughter is, and we got a granddaughter. So my wife said when we retire, we're going to buy a house in Medicine Hat, which we did. I spent about 2 weeks there, and I can hardly wait to get out and get back to the ranch. I come out here, I cut grass, and you gotta have something to do. It makes me feel like I'm still part of ranching and farming. But I was getting up in age. It's time to slow down a bit. Might as well enjoy a little bit of your retirement. No, it's a good life. Tough to make a living sometimes. I wouldn't change a thing. You gotta enjoy what you do. I love my job. My wife loved her job, so worked out great.